was sitting in traffic, listening to the radio.
David Icke will be with us 15 minutes into the next hour. I'm then going to cover all this news. Headline, dollar reaches breaking point as banks shift reserves. Bloomberg, Obama getting the Nobel Peace Prize. That's all part of just flaunting corruption in our face, trying to teach us to just submit and accept the lies and corruption and just capitulate. We're going to go back to David Icke in just a moment. The power of the people taking action is so important. Obviously, that's a very simple statement, but also very profound. And the public has been brought into this deep false reality. They've been hypnotized. They've been brought into this false left-right paradigm. They have had their priorities set by Madison Avenue. They have literally been put into an alpha state of mind control by the television set. And my new film, Fall of the Republic, Volume 1, is a quantum leap from my other films. The other films are excellent, informative, and are among some of the most watched out there. Even the major publication, New Republic, attacks me, says I'm the most dangerous person out there, basically, and says that I am the counterculture icon. And that's actually scary. And I'm on the White House enemies list, number 24 or 25. They're singling me out. Why is that? Well, they mention the Obama deception. And they say it's been seen more than 4 million times on YouTube alone. And that's true. More than 20 million times that we know of on the web, just on different places where we can count up the views. We need to not just have Fall the Republic become it is a quantum better in production, more informative. It needs to be seen by a quantum level by more people. And the ball is in your court. You can pre-order it right now. We're only 9 days away from its release, October 21st, next Wednesday. And the DVDs are scheduled to be arriving here on Friday. We're going to start shipping those babies out on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And so as your orders come in, they will be shipped out in the order that they are received. We've hired a few extra people to try to rush all this out as quickly as possible. And we're getting better and better about shipping stuff quickly. The point is, if you want Fall of the Republic, go to falloftherepublic.com. You can order it there or at Infowars.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139, 888-253-3139. You'll also be able to watch it October 21st. We'll launch it midday on that Wednesday at prisonplanet.tv in the highest quality. There'll also be a mid-level quality DivX version, so you can burn it on CD. That plays on most DVD players, almost all new DVD players. That way you can buy cheap 20, 30 cents disc, burn copies of it, give it out to people. Not only was the Obama deception, and still is, the biggest film we've released for free online views or people making copies of DVDs, it's the best seller we've ever put out. It was out of the park, into the yard. I wanted this to be a grand slam. Infowars.com, prisonplanet.tv, or 888-253-3139. You can also write to me at P.O. Box 19549, Austin, Texas 78760. It's $19.95 per copy. You're free to make copies for nonprofit educational purposes. You are not free to sell it. And it's a good thing I made that stipulation. Amazon will not let me open a shopping cart and sell my previous films because other people have opened carts and claim they own my films. And I may have to litigate those people because they're not stopping, or I'll lose my films. I mean, I try to say, here it is, make copies, and then people try to take the films from me. I know folks have tried that with David. All I want to do is get my films out and have them seen by people. But if I can't even own my own films or have my own films, it becomes a very, very serious issue. Side issue, but, you know, folks, I can hang out with Hollywood people all day. But once you know reality, and you don't want to hang out with Hollywood people unless you admire their courage, like Charlie Sheen. I don't want to just hang out with them at their mansions for no reason. I'm less and less about the flesh, about food and sex and things. And it's so liberating. The horizons have expanded so greatly. But how do you understand the limitlessness of the universe and how we're all tied into it. One drop of water in the ocean is only one drop, but it is part of the great ocean. In its different permutations, it will experience the ocean. It will be in so many other life forms. I mean, there's this limitlessness. How do you experience that limitlessness, but at the same time stay in this three-dimensional realm and fight the tyranny? That's a question I have for David Icke. David, I have a lot of quick questions for you now because I want to cover a lot of ground with you and pick your brain here today. But how do you not become like some of the folks in India who just say, so what if my kid dies? So what if bad things happen? You know, it's all part of the limitlessness, so you just float away into space, versus another cop-out, the phony Rockefeller churches, World Council, National Council of Churches, openly bragging that they teach the Christians, lay down, submit to tyranny, you can't change anything, you're going to be teleported out by Captain Kirk in the rapture, though that's not even in the Bible, a pre-tribulation rapture. As you said, we've got to fight this tyranny now as this great battle comes to fruition so that we can bypass much of the pain and suffering. It's going to be bad, but everything we do now charts the course of future human destiny. How do we get people to tune into the fact that the great decision is being made, the greatest crossroads in human history, and deciding our future destiny? We hold humanity's destiny in our hands. How do we make that decision? How do we get people to take part? Because now I don't even hate the evil globalist. I don't like them and want to fight them. Before, I really hated them and had wrath towards them, and I still do. But more and more, I feel sorry for them and their minions who are missing out on this great paradigm.
Well, first of all, Alex, they're pathetic. They're pathetic little control freaks. Why are they control freaks? What is a control freak? It's a terrified, frightened person, because those that wish to control everything are seeking to control it because they're terrified of anything being in a state of flux. These people couldn't watch a football match without making sure they knew the result before the game started, because this is why they say in their own writings that one of the things that could bring them down is mavericks, because mavericks just flow and they don't get in fear of things just happening as they happen. So they're terrified. They want to control everything because they're terrified of not being in control of everything. They're pathetic. And what they don't understand is people who are not looking at being attached to an outcome, not wanting to control other people, but just living in the moment. They don't understand that, and that's why they fear mavericks, because that's what mavericks in that sense do. In terms of what you were saying earlier about well, we're all consciousness and it's just an experience, so it doesn't matter. Well, the question comes, yes, it is just an experience, but do you want a nice experience? Do you want your children to go through a terrible experiences? Do you want them to have their freedom to express themselves denied? Do you want to have them dumbed down through drugs and all the rest of it? Do you want them to be controlled every minute of the day, including eventually their thoughts, their very thoughts? Well, do you want that? No. So I ain't lying down, because I don't want my kids or any other kids or any adults to go through that. I don't want to go through it myself.
Well, more than that, though, at the spiritual level, the establishment is manifesting their Hellraiser type world here in the third dimension. They are manifesting this hellish system. This is our test. We are being tested of what we really are, and we're making a decision about what we are in eternity, aren't we?
Yeah. What's important is what I said earlier, to move our point of self-identity from I am Charlie Jones to I am consciousness, having experience of Charlie Jones. The reason for that, crucially now, Alex, is because we're entering a period where they're going to throw everything at us, not just the kitchen sink, as we say, but the plug as well. And if we get caught in the five senses, if we're in this world and of this world, and this is our only sense of reality, it's going to be very, very challenging, to say the very least. If we move our point of observing it to it's an experience, it's still going to be challenging, but it completely changes everything. I've got a quote here from someone who had a near-death experience. And what is a near-death experience? It's when that awareness, which is what we internal part of us withdraws from the computer mind interface during a near-death experience. And suddenly what they say is there's a massive expansion of awareness and consciousness. Why? Because you're not being subject to the limitations of the computer anymore. And this is what the man said he experienced. And this is who we are. Everything from the beginning, my birth, my ancestors, my children, my wife, everything comes together simultaneously. I saw everything about me and about everyone who was around me. I saw everything they were thinking now, what they thought then, what was happening before, what was happening now. There is no time, there is no sequence of events, no such thing as limitation, of distance, of period, of time, of place. I could be anywhere I wanted to be